If you've not healed as a parent or you haven't, like taken care of yourself, you cannot help your children become better than you. It is the prayer or the desire of every African parent, mother, father, or every parent in the world to have their children become better than them. I mean, you're actually currently praying or going to one mountain or the other just so that all the things that happened in your life will not happen to your children. Good. It's good to have that kind of desire or faith, but the truth is, you can give what you do not have. If you've not healed as a parent or you haven't, like taken care of yourself, you cannot help your children become better than you. So the question becomes, how do you help your child or your children heal from trauma? So before we get deeper into this, I want to share quickly that there are different circumstances that can expose children, minors especially, of course, to trauma. One of such is divorce. When parents are separated, like it takes a toll on the mental health of the children, and it does affect their well-being psychologically, mentally, and orderly, like otherwise, it does affect them. So the question then becomes, how do you help that child or those children when you are navigating divorce with the other parent or things are not going right with you or both? Now, one of the mistakes that parents make when they're navigating divorce is they start, like trauma dumping, like blaming the children, blaming each other, and somehow the children get, like they feel the heat. One way through which children experience trauma is divorce. Another thing that exposes a child or children to trauma is abuse. Experience of sexual abuse, other kinds of abuse or violence can expose a child to trauma. Now, economic hardship, like if you're not able to meet the needs of the child or children, can also expose that child or children to trauma. Loss of a family member, that you lose someone in the family, can also expose a child or children to trauma. Again, how then do you help a child or your children, or if you're a caregiver working with children, basically, how do you then help children to heal from trauma? Now let's begin. The very first thing to note here is you must recognize pattern. And here I'm talking specifically to you parent, you African mother, father, or parent anywhere in the world, really. You must recognize patterns or pattern. So when I say recognize patterns, basically what I'm talking about is what exactly went wrong in the way you were parented, and how or in what ways are you relieving or recreating that pattern in your parenting style. So maybe you had a mother who used to yell at you, who would slap you, would kick you, would hit you. Now, do you hit and kick and punch and curse your children without even realizing it? This happens, and I can tell you that many African parents, if you are guilty, raise your hand, put your hands in the air, say, yeah, hallelujah, amen. So the truth is, many of us are guilty. And the truth is, it is because of the way we were raised, the way we were parented. Okay, so the first thing you must learn to do in order to help your child heal from trauma is recognize patterns. What patterns, were present in your childhood? What patterns were present in your upbringing? How are those patterns affecting the way you are parenting that child? If you recognize those patterns and you notice that, for example, you had a very temperamental father, now you are also very temperamental, and you notice that you're raising a child that is also becoming very temperamental, hot-headed like you, you know what? That's a pattern there, so that you're able to say, why is this child so stubborn? This child cannot just listen. It's a pattern, and you're able to see that pattern because of where you are also coming from. So recognize the pattern. When you recognize the pattern, it makes it easy for you to help that child. If you don't recognize the pattern, you will not be able to help the child heal. I mean, if you want someone to get better, you should be able to say, what exactly do they need to get better at? So recognize the pattern. Once you recognize the pattern, makes it easy for you to work with this child or children for their healing. Now, the second thing you want to do as a parent who wants to help your child or children heal is you need to validate their feelings. So validate here means you're going through a divorce. Like, I remember when my court case started and things really went south between my ex and I realized that the children were being traumatized. Traumatized in the sense that they were made to say things that that were unhealthy. And I knew that that was trauma for the kids. So I recognized that pattern. I remember growing up and having a parent say terrible things about my other parent to me. So I said to myself that I was not going to create that pattern, but I saw another parent, recreating that pattern that I am trying not to recreate. So I recognize that validate here means validate the children's feelings or the child's feeling. What exactly is the child feeling? Validate it. Understand that, it's okay for them to hate you for that period, or for them to feel like you're the reason why their life is the way it is, because somehow you did contribute to it. If you did not attract a toxic person, you would not be parenting or co-parenting with a toxic person. So somehow you brought that upon you or upon yourself. So you have to agree and come to terms with that reality. So validate what the child or the children are feeling. When you validate, you let them know that I understand you. I know what you're saying. I get you. I hear you. I'm sorry about that. I know how you're feeling, and I'm so sorry that we have to go through this. But we can get this together. We can survive this. We're in this together. We're going to make it work. I'm going to do better. It's going to be fine. Everything is going to be all right. So you have to validate, because you see, there are thoughts in their head. You don't know what the other parent is saying to them, or you don't know what is going on in their mind. You don't even know what they're going through in school, or the experiences that they may not be sharing. So validating a child or a minor tells them they are not alone. Okay, so you have to validate the child or the children. Now, the other thing you want to do is you must communicate. Communicate, talk things through. When you communicate with a child or children, let them know how you're seeing things and hear from them how exactly they are processing things. One of the things you want to do when you're navigating divorce, or you're navigating an abusive experience, or you're a single parent, or you're co-parenting with an abuser, or you're raising a child in an abusive relationship and you're not able to get out yet, you want to constantly tell the child that things will get better. Because really, what else will you say than for you to make the child believe that something good is about to happen, there is light at the end of the tunnel? Because the child is constantly battling with other demons in his or their heads, right? You want to help them navigate that kind of messiness or messy situation without them breaking down. Sometimes we say this might be easier said than done, but it is actually easier done than said. So if you start working this out, you start recognizing patterns, you start validating the child or children, it makes it easy for them to trust you. It makes it easy for them to believe that you can help them work out their healing. Again, have you heard about my book, Broken Child, Broken Adults? This is a book you cannot afford not to buy. You have to go pre-order that book right now. Follow the details in the description of this video to get the book. In this book, you're going to learn the specific strategies for helping your children on a day-to-day basis. This is the book you want to buy for yourself and buy for the minors in your life. It's for everybody. It's a book that is all age inclusive, and it is easy to read, easy to comprehend. It has a self-care journal embedded. It is written primarily for Africans and for people in diaspora. Really, this is one book that would break down patterns of abuse in your life and help you see why you're who you are, what have made you attract the persons you've attracted in the past, and why you're still where you are in life, and how you can move from there to clarity and to having the life that you desire. Because if you're not careful, you're going to mess up the lives of the children in your life if you still continue to hold, or if you're not able to help them work on their healing. And the way to do that is go get my book, Broken Child, Broken Adult. You want to go read that book. In addition to that, there is a webinar that I host every month, and if you want to get that webinar, it is currently live. Follow the link in the description of this video, or you simply go to selar.co/COV. When you get to this website, buy the Clarity of Vision webinar. That webinar gives you access into our coaching community. So maybe healing is your goal, or you want to learn the strategies for helping your child or children. Get into the Clarity of Vision webinar, because when you get into the webinar, it helps you get access into this coaching community. You get to connect with our coaches and work with the coaches in that community. And of course, you're going to be making a steady weekly progress on your healing or the healing of the child or children that you're trying to work with, okay? Because the strategies that you're going to learn it applies to all ages, and you can use that on your children, or you can help your children learn those strategies. So the last thing you want to do, like I already said, is communicate. You cannot afford not to talk things through. The more you communicate, the less the demons in their heads, okay? So if you constantly are able to talk to the children, you help them know, no, this is not what is happening, this is what is happening, this is why this is so. Like you talk to them, let them hear from you, let them share your view, your perspective, because the more conversations you have, at least you're helping them clear doubts, you're helping them gain clarity. Don't forget all the tips that I've shared. How to help your child or children heal from trauma. First, recognize patterns. Validate the child or the children's feelings. Third, communicate. Talk things through so they know you are with them and you're not against them. At the end of the day, I want you to heal. I want you to be empowered, and I want you to learn to advocate for yourself and others, because that is what we are here for at I Day For You. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you're looking to work with us, partner with us, collaborate, or support the great work that we do as a social impact business, simply visit the website idayforyou.com. And of course, I Day For You. Love this video, share it, drop a comment, and make it go viral.